2, 1.
Hey, what's up?
And we're live.
28th.
It's Saturday, November
28th.
20,
Yep,
20,
it is
27th?
the
28th?
28th.
28th. God, this year's
Yeah, it
almost
is.
over.
It has been one of the
Ah.
most uneventful, but also like the most eventful year. It's weird. It's such a weird feeling.
Yeah. So, how was this week for you guys? Slow. How was your Thanksgiving? I haven't talked to you guys
It's last week.
since like last weekend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it was a pretty good short week. But Thanksgiving, my family, I have a super large family, and both sides decided to do their own individual family gatherings. So it was a little uneventful. It kind of just felt like any other day, to be honest. What about you guys?
Corey?
I just went chill with my brother. Me and my mom, we didn't do too much. I'm gonna go see my dad later today, as we decided.
Oh, nice.
Because of Rona, no large gatherings and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of anything either. I bought a so I bought this like giant 12-pound spiral ham to cook. And like really just for me and
for yourself.
Okay. For myself and my I've got two roommates, Shay and then the other
guy. Yeah, okay. I was like, man, 12-pound ham just for Josh is a lot.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot regardless. But I was going to. Well, I did. I put it on the grill, and I went back down to check on it like an hour after putting it on there to find out that I had run out of gas probably within 5 to 10 minutes of putting it up. So I got back down there and it was cold. I was like, great. So I had a Zoom call scheduled with my mom and my older sister who are back in Florida. So I was like, all right, I'll deal with this. I'll go get some gas and then I'll come back. I'll do the Zoom call and then I'll go back and finish all this kind of stuff. But driving around, none of the gas stations in the area around me had any propane left. Like they were all wiped out. Like most of them were saying that they hadn't had it since like September. So I was like, great.
Oh, jeez.
So I didn't cook it at all because my roommate was cooking stuff for him and his girlfriend in the kitchen. So I was like, all right, I'll just do this tomorrow. So I ended up putting it on the grill yesterday instead. But it came out good. I mean,
Got it.
I
was like, you could have just threw that thing in the oven.
I at the end of the night, I was like, I should just cook this now tonight in the oven. But by the time I was actually ready to do anything again, it was like midnight. I was like, I'll just deal with it later.
Hey, but it got done.
Man.
It got done, and now I've got a nice grilled ham in the fridge. I can pull it apart, use it for sandwiches. I was talking with my other roommate about like making a ham soup because it's ham on the bone, so I could pull the bone out and like let it.
Oh
like, simmer
yeah,
so that might be good. So we'll see. Who do we have in the chat here? There's we got 10 people watching today. I know you said earlier the Blur and Thomas Franco were here before we got going.
We also got Edward Sanchez, Jared Hodges. We got them in the chat. Everyone else is just lurking, but that's okay. We appreciate you guys tuning in on this Thanksgiving weekend to the Retro Ranger wrap-up. That's what we do every Saturday. We are kind of counting down, right? Like we will be done at the beginning of 2021. So within the 2 weeks, we will be done Lost Galaxy. And I can tell it's amping up. This week is probably the best week of those I feel like we've had all season.
I agree. Like I sat down to watch these. I was like, oh, I kind of want to keep going after we finish the two. Eric Berry, Trekkie B47 is in the chat here. He is on our Star Trek show with me on Fridays, where we talk about Star Trek Discovery, now in season 3. And getting down to the second half of the season there too. Layla is here. I haven't seen her around in a while. Craig Anderson, who says that this is one of the greatest team ups ever. I haven't seen many of the other team ups, so as of right now, I would agree.
There's only one before this.
Yeah, and that was the was that the Blue Ranger one?
Zeo and Mighty Morphin.
Oh,
no, but that was way
before.
The one that he's talking about is when Justin came back. But that wasn't really an actual team up. That was just like a reference to.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah, he just like made an appearance, like a little cameo, a little Justin cameo.
So let's
But yeah,
let's get into these episodes because I actually I really enjoyed these. These.
wow, I'm glad. I feel like that's super rare for Josh. Do you want to kick it off? I feel like I don't want to steal your thunder. You're actually
Sure.
excited about some of these
I mean,
episodes.
there were a few things while I was watching it where I was like, okay, but it's Power Rangers, so it kind of made sense. But
Yeah.
I mean, skipping around a little bit, like I was really both surprised and impressed that they made the decision to kill someone off. Like I was
Yeah,
I
but
was
that
not
was
expecting that. Like I knew.
Tori, do you know the behind the scenes for that? Because there
I
was
think
something
it was
going on, like medical reasons, right?
yeah, she had got I think it's leukemia.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And so they had to write her off. But I mean that's kinda like they killed her off and she's out there fighting this battle in real life. I'm like, yeah, you could have just had her replaced or something instead of having like a fake death with chances she kind of low key may die or something like that. It's kind of
Well, I mean,
not cool.
the way they did it though, they left it open sort of for her to come back because it seemed like much in the vein of like Star Wars with the Force. She became like a grid ghost.
A great ghost.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Like, it's true though. I was also
Morphin
kind of
ghost.
shocked.
Yeah.
It kind of came out of nowhere too, and having it be part of the team up was super interesting. We also have Blackwing in the chat. We also have Pikachu Master and Jonathan there. But so wanted to say what's up. But yeah, I was also shocked. So we're talking about 2 episodes today. It was, what are they called? I already don't remember.
30 and 31. The 2 episodes were to the 10th degree and Pink with Power.
10th Power.
No, to the 10th Power and the Power of Pink.
Oh, right.
All right.
I've got Star Trek on my mind. There was an episode of Star Trek called "To the Nth Power" or the nth degree or something like that.
But yeah, it was a little interesting. I feel like I don't know. I don't know how I felt about having Kendrix kind of departure mixed with the team up. I guess that's what made it super interesting.
Oh,
also,
we
I'm
just
applause
got
because the Blur gave us a super chat.
Yeah, $5. Thank you, Blur. He says that's why she's still in the credits, so she could get paid for her medical treatment. So that's really nice that they did that. They kept her on because I believe they were still filming in LA at the time, which means that everyone that was on the show was part of SAG, Screen Actors Guild, so they had their insurance through that. So probably if she wasn't on the show, she wouldn't have been able to keep that up.
But yeah, they left it enough where it's just like, I'll always be here. So I feel like if she did want to come back whenever, medical treatment was over, they kind of did. And it's Power Rangers anyway. Like,
right. Does
Cycle
anyone
Rangers
ever really
died
die?
like multiple times at this point.
Zordon never came
It's
back.
true. I mean, there's still a way for him to come back, though, I feel like. If they wanted to just throw him into the next season, I feel everyone would just be like, all right.
Yeah, he just popped up like the face of Bo. Like, it's easy enough.
Yeah, monsters come back to Power Rangers, but not like dead Rangers. They stay dead.
I mean, we got the Psycho. Well, I guess the Psycho Rangers didn't really die. They were just digitized. I didn't know that they were supposed to be robots.
True.
Yeah, the thing. Okay, about
they're
the
monsters.
Psycho Rangers. The Psycho Rangers are like weirdo cyborg monsters, but then there's the graphic novel that came out a while ago. What was it called?
Which
Psycho.
one?
What?
Who are you talking to?
No, I thought I heard you say something. it was called Psycho, something that graphic novel, and basically they took the human forms that they used in Power Rangers in space and made it real people.
I didn't read it, but I know the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't like that, but now you have Corone. This story takes place after Lost Galaxy, and she's basically raising the Psycho Rangers.
The chat children. Chiming in, it was called Psychopath.
Yeah, there you go. And that was, I didn't like that. And they just it kind of removed the thunder from the Psycho Rangers, that whole story.
Blackwing didn't like it either.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you guys in the chat? Did anyone else read that? What were your feelings? Obviously, Corey's a hater and didn't like it.
No, I mean the site.
Blackman obviously agrees with you.
Says Josh,
if,
who like has issues with every episode except for this week.
right?
I mean, it's good to be critical, though. I mean, especially since we know where Power Rangers can go and how the writing can be based off of like Go Power Rangers or any of that.
Yeah,
So
and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so critical on it. Like, is that I've seen episodes of Power Rangers that are really good, so I know it can be a really good show. So when they go back to the same formulaic, just bad dialogue type stuff, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you guys, don't get your hopes up. We still got it's a bumpy road. Not as bumpy, but it's a little rough.
Blur didn't like Sins of the Future either. That's the one that just came out that we had the signing at the Comic Bug.
Yeah, I didn't read that one. My expectations were down here with that. I'm like, I don't know. All these graphic novels been kind of.
I mean, I can we Broom sent us a review copy, so I can send it to you to read.
Oh, I'll take a peek at it. I don't know.
I feel like Corey's just like, nah, I don't even want to waste my time. Like, Blur said it's not good. I trust that guy's opinion.
If I send it to you to read, you're gonna have to talk about it on one of our next episodes.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll tell you how much I hate this stupid book before I read it.
So, Corone came back definitively in episode 31, the second episode that we're talking about today. In the first episode, in episode 30, we got Andros. Who are they coming for?
It's like to be rescued.
What did you guys think about Andros'
I know,
return?
it's so loud. Let's see if I can block that. I freaking hate sirens. I live on a super busy street, so I hear that all day, every day. Sorry if you guys can hear it. But what were you saying, Josh?
How did you guys feel about the way they brought Andros back in?
I'm confused. So I know I asked this before. So we know that the Power Rangers in space are on Earth. What?
Okay.
But they're not still Power Rangers.
All right, here we go. Let me fix this for you.
All right. Give us a little rundown.
But before you continue, I want you to answer this as part of it as well. Because in the next episode, we see where all the rest of the Power Rangers come back and they all grab their morphers from that room that was way too big just to be holding the morphers.
Yeah.
But so they had a mission they were completing on Earth, but they weren't Power Rangers on Earth.
All right. See. No. All right. All right. Okay. Well, first, one thing about the Space Rangers is that they're called Space Rangers, not In Space Rangers. I don't know where In Space Rangers comes from.
Because it's Power Rangers crazy. In space.
Yeah, but in here they announced themselves as Space Rangers.
Right.
And then you watch the Wildford episode, Forever Red. He says Red Space Ranger, not Red In Space Ranger. Same with Galaxy. It's just Red Galaxy Ranger, not Red Lost Galaxy Ranger. It's crazy. Anyway, that's me nitpicking. Okay. So the Astro Megaship was a museum in Angel Grove. It was a museum. It was just disguised as a museum. Why?
Right.
But it was actually the Astro Megaship Museum. So that is, it gets picked up, Lost Galaxy happens, yada, yada, all that happens. But the Rangers, they did go back to Earth. And then they lock their morphers and the power vote. That's the power vote. They just put it there. You know what I'm thinking about this? There is no answer.
Right? Because so first of all, let's talk about the power. I know we're moving on to the next episode, but the power vault. None of them had their morphers before, but all of them are being kept on the Astro Megaship in this giant vault room that has these weird like pipe type things coming out from a desk in the middle of the room that has the morphers on it.
It's supposed to be like little wrists, like colored wrist holders, like know on display when you go to watch store or something like that.
It's almost like
so
go ahead.
Here's how I can justify that scene, even though, or not justify that scene, but justify that room, even though it didn't make any sense. Because as Corey just said, the ship was a museum back on Earth. So
Mhm.
that room was just the room where they were displaying the morphers from those Power Rangers. So
Well,
it was
Yeah.
it was a display, not really a vault for just keeping them there. Because if it was just to keep them there, they could have
Mm.
been like a briefcase type thing in the wall. So I
well,
guess
the
on
Astro
second thought, that
Megaship,
kind of made sense.
the Astro Megaship is also their base of operations. So you got to think like if they're not using the morphers, they got to keep them stored somewhere, you know. And it also seems like if you're not using a morpher, like it can drain like a battery, so they got to keep them frozen, kind of like Zane, you know, when
See,
he
that's what I
was
was
put
kind of
on.
wondering too. Like, that was one of my questions of the first episode. Is number one, like, what have the Power Rangers been doing on Earth? Why would they give up their morphers, especially Andros, who I feel like Andros should still be on a mission to save Corone. Corone doesn't appear in these two episodes. I think it's one of the later ones. But Andros, in my head, should still be out trying to save Corone. At least he should still be a ranger. Where is Zane, and why is it called the Power of 10 when there's like 11 rangers? Because Magnet Defender is there, but there's no Zane. And I was a little confused about the whole setup to it, but if you don't look
Yeah.
too closely, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Really
all
quick.
kind
I just
of
want to touch on the chat. They're telling me that I'm wrong. Corone doesn't actually show up till episode 32. They are correct because I started watching the first half of 32 before because we originally we were going to cover all just 30 and 31, and then we were talking about maybe doing 4, but I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to be able to get through both 31 and 32 before the end, so I stopped watching it. Um, but
We also got
also we got
another
another.
super chat from the
Yeah.
Blur.
What do you say?
He says, perhaps when the Galaxy Rangers got in trouble, Deca took over the ship and flew back to Earth, teleported the others, and informed them of the dangers. I do like that, but not to like dismiss your super chat, because thank you so much for that. But also, Blackwing says, like, don't question it. And I feel like that is one of the key rules of
Yeah,
Power Rangers.
well, it
For
has to
you
be
to truly enjoy Power Rangers, you just ignore it.
because here's the other thing
no
about the other
problem.
Rangers coming back is how did they get to the ship in the first place if they didn't have their morphers to be able to survive in space without their ranger suits?
Wait, what? Say that again.
Don't
So
question it.
they flew to the ship on their space surfboards
Yes.
without their ranger suits because their morphers were on the ship.
Well, one, there's
Yeah, so how did
operating
they get into
space in the
space?
Power Ranger universe, for one. And two, I mean, they can always, their suits are kind of like space suits.
Right, but they
So,
didn't have their
No,
suits
but
because their morphers were on the ship.
yeah, so how did they get to the ship
oh,
to get the morphers in the first place? Like, it's like,
oh.
hey, how did you get there? Does Alpha have the
I
power
always
to
assumed
teleport still?
they had the mega shuttle. Like the shuttle's not attached to the mega ship, and the
See,
mega ship is just there. And so
that's
that
what
way they took the. That's how they conformed the Megazord in the. Oops. Wait,
that's
that was
what
that was in this Power of Pink. That's how they was able to form the Megazord.
that's what I had thought originally. But then at the end when they leave on the surfboards.
Yeah.
So did they just leave the shuttle behind?
Yeah, like just in case,
the Megazord, you know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just, but those are things like, again, yes, I wouldn't say necessarily I'm criticizing. I'm kind of nitpicking about these just like weird, funny things that don't make any sense within the universe. But like other like movies that I enjoy, like Volcano and Independence Day, the logic in those movies don't really make any sense either. But they're fun. These 2 episodes were fun, so I was able to forgive all of these like weird
All the
logic
bullshit.
issues in them.
So I do have another question, kind of based off this. This goes back to the original Psycho Ranger origins. So they are Psycho Rangers, but they are also like the monsters or aliens that they transform into. Like all of them have like an alien monster form. And so what is it? Why do they have like negative opposite Power Ranger energy? Did they steal something from the Rangers? Like, why are they so vindictive against their own personal colors? And Psycho Pink is like, I can't wait to get the Pink Ranger, but I felt like she should have, like she doesn't really know Kendrix. Like she only knows Cassie.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Psycho Rangers. That's their sole purpose. It's just to wipe out that Ranger color. That's why the whole psychopath graphic novel doesn't make any sense.
So they didn't care who
Okay.
was inside the suit. They cared about the suit itself.
Wait, what?
They didn't care who was inside the suit. It was just the suit.
Yeah, wipe out the Blue Ranger. Psycho's Blue mission, wipe them out. Psycho Red's mission, wipe out any Red Ranger. Just take them out. That's all they care about.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. It was there was just so much weird stuff in this one, like the Psycho Pink Ranger turning into the monster at the end of the episode.
I mean, she did that before, like when it was in space, but it was just super weird that you had all the Psycho Rangers, right? And they're like fighting against the Power Rangers, and then Pink is like, yo, I could do it. Like, I couldn't do it all my homies, even though we were like super beat up, you know? And it's like, I'm going to take them out on my own. And she does it. Where I'm like, dude, why didn't you do that in the first place, man? And then where did like the power saber? Oh shoot, I'm sorry, I forget the word, but the magic sword,
the savage sword or savage saber.
yeah, like was that mentioned previously? Is that part of any other story arc that I had forgotten about? Okay, cool. That just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, Kendrix found it in the book while because I guess we see Kendrix is still kind of going through the Galacta book to see what other things might be out there in the universe, and she came across the page with the Savage Saber in it while the Pink Psycho Ranger was in the computer system and saw that she found it. So the Pink Psycho Ranger was like, I'm gonna go get this before they do. So that's
yeah,
kind
but
of where
like,
that came from.
what are the powers? It's just like a powerful sword. Like they all have swords, you know. Like
yeah. So this one, they mentioned it while she was fighting the Pink Ranger. For every time, whoever's using it lands a blow with it, it gets stronger.
okay,
which is why that's why it
that
changed from like the katana to like the
the
big,
cloud
like,
sword that got like
the
super
Final
huge.
Fantasy VII sword. Yeah.
I mean, that was super fun. I really like that. There was like, I know we're nitpicking because otherwise we wouldn't have too much to talk about other than it's great.
Right.
But also when like they see Psycho Pink about to grab the sword and you have like 15 seconds of buildup, I'm like, yo, Cassie, you have a gun in your holster. Like, shoot that girl.
But
like,
also, not only that, but so this was one of the weird things that I was talking about earlier. That like one of my small actual like real issues with it is, so the two Pink Rangers are running towards Psycho Pink to stop her from grabbing the sword out of the stone. And as they're running, they're yelling at her, no, don't do it, don't take it, don't grab it. She's a fucking evil Psycho Ranger. Why is she going to listen to them telling her not to take the sword? Like, that whole thing didn't make any sense to me. Like, trying to distract her, I get that and I understand that, but telling her not to take it, like that, like she's gonna listen.
Yeah, like
could have rushed her or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing that they do, the Galaxy Ranger Street that they did one time. What was it, episode 2, I think? Yeah.
I mean, it was still interesting. I was just a little confused because we saw like, I'm all about the girl power. I love that. I love seeing like Cassie and Kendrix having that kind of team up. They're against like Pink Psycho. That was super fun. We see the rest of them battling, you know, the rest of the minions, like the rest of the Power Rangers, all like, oh, now there's like 10 of us and we're battling this. I'm like, why wouldn't you just go help out Pink? Like, go teleport and help them out if this Master Saber Sword is so important.
That's another general issue that I have with Power Rangers and just kind of overall, at least from the past couple of seasons that we've been watching, is that a lot of times the individual Rangers will be like, oh no, this evil monster who was out to get us is doing something, like did something, and I wasn't able to stop them. So now this is all my fault, and I'm the only one that can stop this. Instead of going up to the other guys and being like, hey guys, this monster just kind of fucked us over. Can we go like take this guy out? I could use your help. Like none of them ever want to ask the others for help, and even though they know from multiple instances in the past that they're going to need help, and that, you know, like when they go off on their own, something's going to happen and the others are going to have to come in and save them. Just get it over with from the start. Just go ask the others for help.
You know
But
what?
then we won't have an episode.
After all this time, I never questioned. I didn't even think about that. Like I'm scrubbing through the episode right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, they did just take off and handle that on their own. Like, why didn't they just go as a team?
I mean, to be fair to them, there were two of them. Like we had both Cassie and Kendrix going together, but they also knew that it took pretty much all five of them. Like Cassie knew that it took all five of them to take out one of the Psycho Rangers previously. So
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
To
it
me,
takes
that
five
just
to take out one.
it just doesn't add up.
I mean, it's still fine. I was also a little confused. I didn't necessarily understand, like, okay, so they had like the new saber or whatever, and she jams it, or Psycho Pink jams it into Cassie's, morpher.
Right.
And then Cassie's dying, but I'm like, yo, Cassie, you don't have your morpher for however long you've been on Earth since the last season ended. Like, I don't know how that's draining her energy. I feel like the morpher enhances, like, gives her power. It doesn't necessarily steal her power, or is that one of the things of the saber that we just assume, like, oh shoot, it's taking her life force?
So I'm thinking like I guess the Zordon era is like the morphin energy is like in tune to you, like biologically. So
Okay.
when Tommy lost his powers,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of painful. So even this is a tech based power, the morphin grid itself is still kind of mystical.
Yeah,
So,
I kind of like to me it kind of felt like the Flash. Like in the Flash, there's other speedsters that were able to steal his speed force and
Okay.
absorb his speed. So this kind of feels similar to that in a way.
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess. I mean, I don't know because okay, so even with Mighty Morphin, like Tommy was losing his powers. It was mostly originally because of the green candle and it's like zapping that and there was like magical force is why he like felt pain. There was like something attached physically to Tommy, but they passed the morphers on like we've seen within series like, "Oh, you're the new Yellow Ranger, you're the new Black Ranger." And it's like so if that morpher dies, is connected to every single ranger that's ever been in the morphing
no,
grid.
they use
So
the
say like
Well, maybe it's like a
sword of
wand in
power.
Harry Potter, where like you have to defeat the last person
you have to
to
own it.
and you have to own it.
The
Okay, all right.
sword of power, that was the power transfer between Rocky, Adam, Aisha. That's how they were able to trade it off. And then there was no transfer in Zeo. No, when Trey transferred to Jason, then he was willingly giving him the powers. And then there was when Kimberly lost her coin to Catherine. She just took it, and then Kimberly started feeling weak. So
Yeah.
it's a thing. So
I mean, it seems like they just kind of when they're in the writers' room or whatever, they're like, okay, how do we figure this out? Oh, here's how we can do it, and they just whatever works for that episode, they do. It seems like.
Yeah,
Which
and I know that we've been kind of nitpicking at this episode. We've obviously all really, really enjoyed it. It seems like you guys in the chat also like these two episodes. Did you guys have any favorite parts, standout parts, things that made you actually like it? Because we're very critical here. We can't not be. But if you had to give it any, why do you like this? Especially Josh, who is usually the most critical.
I think for me it was just they were just fun. Like I'm kind of a sucker for team up episodes in general. Like no matter what it is. Like even though I hate like half of the CWDC shows, every year when they have the crossover event, I will sit there and I will watch. I watched Arrow and I watched Supergirl and I watched Black Lightning or whatever. Like whatever the episode was that was on that had the crossover part on it, I would watch it even if I didn't like that show, just in general, because I just enjoy seeing how they figure out how to work all of that in. So for me, this was fun because we got to see all these characters that we had just seen in the previous season come and now interact with these new characters who we've been getting to know. And despite all the weird logic issues that I have with the storyline itself, it was just overall it was fun. Because I mean 90% of these episodes are fight scenes anyway.
No, that's true.
That's okay with me.
But yeah, it is kind of like that reveal. I love it when they tease, like when we first meet Andros, to begin with, he's in the cloak and he's going to the dinner of all the villains, and he unmasks himself and he was like, I'm the Red Ranger. And we get that here, and you already get that sense of anticipation and buildup. So I feel like, the writers and directors reintroducing Andros into like this new season. I was like, oh shoot, gravity. I'm flailing too much. My bad. But like, he's wearing the cloak and you already know who it is. Like, even if I didn't hear his voice, I would have been like, oh shoot, Andros is coming up. And I wish they didn't tease it in the opening credits, because I feel like I already knew. Like, I was like, oh man, all these people are coming back. I feel like that should have been the end credits to really like boost that anticipation. But I'm pretty sure like marketing for this episode was like, come watch the team up, blah blah blah. All the commercials for this.
Yeah, like I'm the only thing that kind of disappointed me in these episodes is that we didn't get to see Andros use the Battleizer armor.
Oh, his super buff up.
Yeah.
Him and Leo could. Oh wait, well Leo doesn't get his yet.
Oh, he also gets a buff suit.
It's not a buff suit. It's just an armored suit.
Dang, yeah, because I wanted Zane. Like, I was actually a little irritated. I'm sorry, I'm the one that was trying to talk positive and going back to the nitpicky. I was just like, you could have Magnet Defender and the Silver Ranger and then arrange it like symmetrically of like red, green, blue, and that. But I was just like, dude, they're not even in the right color order. That makes me really annoyed. Like, come on, you guys have been posing for how many like generations of Power Rangers now? Like, let's get this right.
Although, speaking about that, I do understand that. But one of the other things that I thought was really fun in this episode was that sequence where they all morphed together kind of like at the same time, and they went from the
side by side.
Yeah, they did. They went from the in space theme to the Lost Galaxy theme. Like they cut them together really well, and it flowed really well. So I'm like watching that, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is fun.
It is, and I miss the Power Rangers in Space like song. Like, oh man, the Power Rangers go. I was like, heck yes.
Yeah.
This is super nostalgic, even though we finished this series like just a couple months ago.
Yeah, it really wasn't that long ago.
But yeah, like I thought it was super good. I thought it was super cute. I like how it focused on the Pink Rangers and them kind of teaming up. And I was actually heartbroken to see Kendrix leave. I did like her a lot, and I just felt like, man, she stuck around long enough to see Leo try to chase another girl, even though they had a little something, and then like she's gone. Like that was like the worst buildup ever, to be like, oh yeah, don't worry about Kendrix. We're not gonna pursue that plot point anymore, obviously for behind the scene reasons.
Right.
But I feel like it could have been a little more tactfully done.
Yeah.
I think there was a thing where they was gonna have Cassie take over, but I can't remember the reason why the actress didn't want to do it. I don't remember.
Well, I know. I know that the actress she's like a firefighter now. I don't know how long she's been doing that, but maybe she had that job already and was like, okay, well, I can get away from this for this team up episode, but maybe not full time to completely take over.
I've seen her in a few bank commercials like a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's
cool.
But she still looks the same.
I want to do a thing because obviously we were talking about this earlier. I do the Star Trek show with Eric Berry on Fridays, and I've noticed that there are several actors from Power Rangers that have made appearances in Star Trek. So I want to go through and I want to make up like a list or like an article or maybe a short video, just like kind of going through and being like Power Rangers and Star Trek side by side, because like Scorpina was in Deep Space Nine, Jack Guzman was in Star Trek Enterprise. I can never remember dude's name, but I think it was one of the Blue Rangers was in the first season of Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, Sky.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably been more that have like maybe been in the background or other things. So I kind of want to put together a list of if you like maybe if you like this Power Rangers actor, you can watch these other things that I like that they're in. But we'll see. What do we have going on in the chat? I see that people are talking about her Patricia.
Yeah, she's someone that's a firefighter. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this Craig Anderson also says they were going to pay her as a guest star instead of being a main cast member, and that's why she decided to walk off, which definitely makes sense. I mean, it's kind of what happened to Mighty Morphin. Like they all wanted more pay for doing all of that, so it just didn't happen to work out that way. Oh, Donnie Pearson also says Vaughn Armstrong is among the actors who appeared in both Star Trek and Power Rangers. Can add that to your list.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up too. Chris Violet is the other guy. And Donnie also, for some reason, put Thomas Franco into detention.
He was being kind of snarky, so I abide by that.
All right.
Like we're all about snark and we all talk crap, but not about each other, not about you guys in the chat. You know, like everyone be nice. Watch your tone. But yeah, I mean, these episodes were actually really good. Like this team up is probably because there was no real explanation to it either. They're just like, hey, we need help. You're going to come. Psycho Rangers are back. And it's like, man, we got Psycho Ranger nostalgia. We got Power Rangers in Space nostalgia. And it wasn't overly hammy because like you guys mentioned, like it was all action. Like it was just a fun team up.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Memory cards that the Psycho Rangers were kept in.
Right.
What do you guys? How do you guys think that works? I just want your opinion.
Yo, I'm gonna take a Blackwing on this one and say like, I know. I'm just not gonna think about it.
You want like an in-universe reason, not just it was in the script?
Yes. Sorry. Because remember the episode they came from, right? In Power Rangers in Space?
Yeah.
They're collecting cards now. Collector's cards.
What I would assume is that it works kind of the same way that a transporter does in the Star Trek universe, where their patterns were stored in those cards as information, and then the Tron type thing that was able to digitize and undigitize Jeff Bridges and Tron. They use that to take the information out of the cards and make them into real life people, things, cyborg monsters.
So then, once the information is released, you can't re-release it again, right?
Well, I would imagine. I would say yes. I would say that that the information has to be removed from the cards in order for them to be digitized in real life, or like undigitized or whatever.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I just accept it.
Do that.
Okay.
The more you just accept things, I feel like the more fun it is. I don't know. It was super cool because I think I really loved In Space and I really love Lost Galaxy, and it's probably one of the better team ups because you didn't have those transitions of like multiple different Rangers in each series like we've had previously. So I feel like that also kind of helps solidify like, oh, if you watch the previous season, all these characters, whether you watch one episode or you watch the entire season. So you can be in on the fun. Versus a lot of the previous ones where we've ever had team ups, it was like, oh man, you might have not watched after such and such is like transition or change or whatever the case may be. But yeah, like how would you guys like rate these two episodes? Let's just do it as a whole. We've been talking about them as a whole.
Yeah, I both of them together, I'll give them both a 5.
What about you, Corey?
Wait, I do mine out of 10 because it makes.
All right.
Just cut it in half.
9.
So that's 4.5.
Right.
9 out of 10.
Hey, that's pretty good because we have some. Blackwing gives it a 5 out of 5. He says this is his third favorite team up. So I'm kind of curious, Blackwing, what's your number 1 and number 2 team up? So I have something to look forward to.
I'm gonna guess. I know I'm gonna guess one of his is Forever Red.
Yeah, that's like the most solid
that has to be a good one. Yeah. I mean, the Blur also gives this one a 5 out of 5. I'm kind of looking through it. Pikachu Master gives it a 5 out of 5. We had anyone else that wants to vote and let us know. I'm especially curious if anyone did not like this particular team up, these 2 episodes this week, because I think they're phenomenal. Like these are probably the most exciting I feel like of the entire season. Oh, Edward Sanchez also gives it a 5 out of 5.
And
Jonathan,
again,
you gave it a 4 out of 5.
Thank you for your super chats. And he says that these are the only 2 episodes where he'll be giving anything a 5 out of 5 for this series.
I don't know. It's a fun season though. I think especially you're going to hear me repeat this a lot, especially coming off of anything from like Turbo, like, man, that was a low point. That was a super low point for me. I can't wait to see some of these other seasons you guys mentioned that are absolutely terrible.
I have fun with Turbo.
Craig Anderson, Jonathan gives it a 4 out of 5. Craig Anderson, 5 out of 5. Jared Hodges, a 5 out of 5. Layla also gives it a 5 out of 5. Sucker for a good ass roll call. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah,
I love seeing I love the songs coming back. Like, it's super good. Man, I can't wait for Forever Red 10 years down the line.
Well, I think that I what series was that during? Because that one was in standard def 4:3, right? That one, what was that, or was that one in widescreen? I don't remember.
Wait,
I know I've
Forever
seen it.
Red.
Forever Red is Wild Force.
So was that after the HD switch?
No, I don't think they went HD until
It was
Disney.
like 2007. It was whatever was in 2007. I think was, or 2008 was the first HD season.
Yeah, I think that would have.
It had to be after that. It was after that because I remember this is super.
Yeah, Wild Force is
kind of.
Because Time Force is 2001. Time Force doesn't let you forget what year it is. That's how I remember.
Oh, so Blackwing says Forever Red is actually his number 4 team up. We're going to get to see his number 1 in the next 3 seasons, and Corey should know what he's talking about. So I'm kind of curious.
No, I don't, because anything after that is kind of lackluster. If he's talking about Operation Overdrive, I know he likes Overdrive.
Yeah.
Overdrive is garbage.
Really? Oh, no.
I don't like the Overdrive team up. It was lame.
Like past the point where we are now, really the only episodes I've seen, or the only series I've really actually seen of Power Rangers was I've seen Forever Red, just because I ended up watching that by itself at some point in the past randomly, and I watched some of Dino Charge. Was that the one with where Tommy came back?
Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder. I watched some of Dino Thunder because I was. Where was I? I was somewhere. I was on location for a movie I was working on, and I was sitting in the hotel and I was just flipping through the channels. And I saw Tommy on Power Rangers, and I was like, "Wait a second, Power Rangers is still on?" And then
is Tommy still here?
And then beyond that, I was like, "Wait, Jason David Frank is still on it?"
Oh man. But
so
Donnie Pearson does say
episodes.
Samurai is going to be your first Power Rangers series to be produced in high def and in widescreen. But
Bokenger?
Yeah.
Bokenger.
Yeah, that was the first Super Sentai series for widescreen.
Yeah, that was in widescreen, yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, I don't know how to read. My vision is... Oh, welcome back, Thomas Franco. He also gives it a 5 out of 5. Like, this is obviously kind of like an undisputed, like, high set of episodes. So I'm super excited about that. Are we having more of this coming next week, or are we having more fun episodes, or is this kind of like the highlight season? I guess is what I'm asking.
32 is fun. I can tell you that because I've watched like three quarters of that episode now. Maybe I got through the whole thing. I don't know about 33. I haven't watched any of that one yet.
I'm going to interrupt because Craig Anderson gives us a super chat for $5.
Thank you,
so much, Craig Anderson.
We appreciate it.
He's letting me know that the Neil Saban era, those seasons are super terrible, and they actually make Turbo look like a masterpiece. I'm a little disheartened right now. I'm super sad. But he does say we're probably going to love RPM and Dino Thunder. I already know I love RPM based off of that one episode that we saw. I'm most excited about that series for sure.
Even though it had absolutely nothing to do with Halloween in any way.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. They're talking about...
What are you saying, Corey?
He's pretty good. The best version, my opinion, the best version of Astronema is in episode 33, Lost Galaxy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see how that transition is going to be with Corona, especially since we got our Power Rangers in Space cast to come back just for these 2 episodes and the Psycho Rangers. So I hope we have this upward momentum to carry us till 2021, and we're anticipating being done by January 9th, I believe.
Yeah, I've got the schedule that I sent you guys. I posted that in on our YouTube page. If you go to our community tab, you can see a post where it's got our schedule. So I actually was proactive about something this week, and you can see all of our entire schedule for up through January 9th, when we'll be finishing Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. And then we're going to try not to take a week off in between, and we'll be jumping right into was it Lightspeed Rescue? Is that the next one? Lightspeed Rescue right after that. So that
Man,
should be
we are
the 16th.
numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we can wrap up here. Are you going to be doing what do we normally do after retro? What do we got? What do we got on the agenda?
So before the new season of Discovery had started, after retro had been me and Joe doing the classic retro Riker maneuver, talking about Star Trek Enterprise. We'll probably come back to that after Discovery ends in a few weeks, unless Joe is available earlier, and we'll start doing that soon. I don't know, three like having to keep up with 3 shows week after week is kind of a lot. While working a full-time job too, so we'll see if I'm able to commit to that before Discovery ends. Tomorrow, though.
I want to interrupt though.
Yeah.
We might plan to the blur. We might actually plan a Christmas episode. I know there is a week, the day after Christmas, where we don't have anything. Maybe we can do Christmas episodes. We'll discuss it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do the whole Christmas
look
thing.
At Corey's face. Corey has been dreading like Christmas Power Ranger episodes since before Halloween.
So currently we're scheduled to be off on the 26th, which is the day after Christmas. I'll be available, I'm sure, to do whatever, because LA just got another safer at home order.
Yep.
Another one? What I missed?
Yeah, it starts on Monday. Monday, I think.
The curfew, right? Be home by 10, basically, till like the 23rd or whatever.
Yeah. The curfew
and no outdoor eating.
Is there the safer at home order starts on Monday and runs through December 20th. But it's not as strict as it was back in March before all this started.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, I've been.
So yeah, we'll see. I'm down to talk about Christmas episodes, because even though I'm not like a bit big on the whole Christmas spirit thing itself, I do enjoy Christmas episodes of TV shows because they're just like really cheesy.
Let me see if there's
so do we have
PM I could squeeze into a Christmas one.
Yeah, we ain't listening to any of Corey's suggestions after Ghost, even though that was one of my favorite episodes of the Halloween ones. Oh man.
So I guess we're kind of done with the Power Ranger discussions. We've got a few minutes left to kill, so I'm gonna ask you guys, what are you guys what are you guys doing? Do you guys have anything to plug that you're doing, or just fun stuff that you're doing that you want to fill the group in the chat in on? I don't know.
I feel like it's just work.
I can't speak about my project. I'm procrastinating on it though. I got to respond to an email right now about it. So think about it.
Oh man,
secret and secret stuff.
Interesting. Elle, have you watched anything, or are you doing anything fun?
I actually recently started the series What We Do in the Shadows. It's actually pretty good because I love the movie Taika Waititi.
So you've seen the movie now, because I haven't watched the movie, but I've seen clips from the show, and it's one of those where I'm like, okay, I kind of need to watch this.
I would actually recommend watching the movie first to get you're probably gonna love his humor if you've seen like Thor Ragnarok, if you've seen any of his other movies like Jojo Rabbit, you'll get a sense of that really dark, dry humor. But man, it is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. If you have a chance to watch What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, it's really good. The series just kind of expands on those ideas, and they actually do a pretty good job of it so far. I'm probably only 5 episodes into the first season, but that's my new rabbit hole that I'm diving into.
I'll have to add it to my list. I know, like, out of the stuff that I watch, His Dark Materials came back last week, so I've been watching that. There's a new episode on Monday. Obviously, Star Trek Discovery. Once that's done, though, there's no new Star Trek stuff for a while, so I'll have some more free time to catch up on other things. I watched MacGyver. Because it's like I allow myself
Original
like
MacGyver?
the new one with the dude who played Havoc in the X-Men movies. Like I allow myself to watch like one or two procedural TV shows at a time. So right now those two shows for me are MacGyver and Magnum PI.
Oh, you ever watched that reboot of Knight Rider
The from like 5 years ago?
with the Mustang?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that show, and then I watched it recently. I was like, "What was wrong with me?"
I feel like that with a lot of TV shows. Like I'll watch things that I loved when I was a kid. Like I tried rewatching Thundercats recently, and like I still want to finish it, but I'm watching it. I'm like, wow,
The
this
80s
is
one?
no. The 2011 reboot is still good, but the
Yeah,
original 80s series,
yeah,
it's just
it's tough.
yeah, it's tough to get through. Yeah, it's sort of like the early season of Power Rangers, where it's like, okay, here's this like really weak storyline to just get us through from one action sequence to another. Like there's certain episodes that have like really good storylines in them, but then the rest is just like, okay, we're gonna throw this little bit of story together just to get to the Thundercats fighting Mumra or the mutants or something.
Yeah, same with He-Man. He-Man's like unwatchable.
Yeah, He-Man is kind of up there too. What do we got going on in the chat here? I see people asking about things. The Blur is asking what's the latest on Cosmic Protectors. Joe is actually doing a little bit of a rewrite on it, and we've changed the style of how we are producing the visual aspect of it,
Like the art style, kind of.
Yeah. So we're working with our artists to get that changed up a little bit. So that's a work in progress. We also have, I know, works in progress. Jody, I don't know if you guys were around back on that hashtag show when he was hosting a show called Straight Out of Krypton, which was an after show for the show about Superman's grandfather that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. He is actually writing and currently editing a Star Wars audio drama. I know he's most of the way through that. I think he's got a few episodes left to edit. We're going to be releasing that as a podcast soon. It's what I've heard is really good, like really, really good. So I'm really excited for that. What else do we have? The Blur says they like Zio's Christmas episode. I didn't see that. Donnie Pearson likes both versions of MacGyver and the theme songs. I don't like the theme song from the new MacGyver. It kind of starts out like paying a little bit of homage to the original, but then goes in a completely different direction. Like it's fine on its own, but like as a MacGyver theme, I'm like, it's not for me. Let's see. The Blur is going to be watching Law and Order. Donnie Pearson is also watching Cosmos: A Space-Time Odyssey on Disney Plus. The Blur liked Nightman. I remember the show vaguely. That was like 90s, I think. See, Craig Anderson, I used to love Operation Overdrive.
No, that was the Mantis.
I remember Mantis too.
Yeah. Oh wait, is that no? That's Bible Man. No, I think
with the guy that played Buddy in Charles in Charge.
I don't remember. I just remember his purple suit.
And really quick before we sign off here, just the last couple of comments. Thomas Franco says that our reviews of episodes 37, 38, and 39 is a day before his birthday. So happy early birthday, Thomas. I'm sure you will be reminding us again when we're talking about those episodes. Let's see. Donnie Pearson liked Krypton, and Jared Hodges says he's watching Predator with Olivia Munn. G4 is coming back. I don't know if you guys watched that. They did a reunion episode the other day with like all the not all the original cast, but from the Kevin Pereira once Kevin and Olivia took over, like all those cast members. It was fun. But anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it for us for this week. Where can people find you guys on social media? Let's start with Corey.
Go follow me on Twitter, C Gibson Rex. Go do that, please. I need someone to talk to. Besides, arguing with me.
Oh, man.
Elle?
I'm LT on Instagram. I haven't been posting. I think I finally have a little bit of downtime, so I might be posting some old stuff and maybe some of the stuff that we'll be working on in the future. But you can give me a follow.
Yeah, I saw
And
the
what about
pictures.
Josh?
I saw the pictures that you posted recently of our trip to the Stranger Things fun fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, so I do Facebook, and that's kind of like my storage for photos for like reference, because Instagram, there's no way to really save it. You just got to
Yeah.
scroll like years and years to find something. So Instagram used to be like my literal Instagram, like it is an instant post of the things that I'm doing, and Facebook is, but I've been focusing on Facebook because I'm like a year and a half behind on tens of thousands of photos I have on my computer.
I rarely use my Facebook anymore. The only reason that I saw that was because you had tagged me in it, so I got a notification saying you were tagged in a photo. So I was like, oh well, I'll go look at Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
But like the last time I posted was a couple of weeks ago, telling people to go follow me on Twitter, because I rarely post anything on Facebook anymore. So for Twitter, you guys can find me at Vogon Poetry Slam. You can also find me on Instagram at Vogon Poetry Slam too. I haven't really started getting into using Instagram that much. I'll try and get better at it. I posted something recently about a new product that I picked up, and that's not really Power Rangers friendly, but you guys can see it there.
But yeah, if you want Power Rangers friendly content, make sure to follow us on our Instagram. It's _Illuminerdi. We also have our Twitter account. We also have the Inner Circle on Facebook. And of course, you can always find us here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the clicking things except for the thumbs down. We would super appreciate that.
Yeah, so we will see you guys next week with episodes 32 and 33. See ya.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.